Have you ever met someone who is pure chaos wrapped in a uniform and yet somehow gets promoted straight to the top while the rest of us are stuck grinding? Let me tell you about Leo. This man was a living legend for all the wrong reasons. Back when we were stationed at Fort Riley, Leo didn't just skate by on the bare minimum. Oh no, Leo was a card-carrying member of the Disaster Club, and yet, through some unholy mix of dumb luck and pure charm, he failed upward so hard it broke the laws of physics. It started during our annual field training exercise. A week of living in the dirt, drinking lukewarm water, and praying your sergeant forgets you exist. Leo, being Leo, managed to lose his rifle on day one. Not misplace it, lose it. He left it sitting on a mess hall table 3 miles from the training zone. Any normal soldier would have been scrubbing floors with a toothbrush until the next century. Leo walked straight up to the battalion commander, saluted with a coffee cup still in his hand, and said, "Sir, I strategically relocated my primary weapon to test the alertness of the base guard detail." You'd think the commander would lose it. Instead, he looked at Leo, looked at the coffee cup, and nodded in grave, serious approval. "Good initiative, Miller. Unorthodox, but I like a guy who thinks outside the box." We were standing there, biting our tongues so hard we were drawing blood. Failing upward is an art form, and Leo was Picasso. It only got wilder from there. A month later, we had a major inspection coming from a 3-star general. Everything had to be spotless, by the book, no exceptions. Leo completely misread the assignment. Instead of cleaning his barracks room, he decided to bake a homemade lasagna using a modified field ration heater. It smoked out the entire 3rd floor and set off the main sprinkler system. The whole building evacuated into freezing rain at 2 in the morning, in PT gear, an unadulterated catastrophe. When the general walked through the flooded, muddy barracks the next morning, looking like a thunderstorm about to strike, Leo stepped right up to him, didn't flinch, looked him dead in the eye. "General, sir, I simulated an emergency biohazard drill to test our rapid deployment readiness under adverse weather conditions." We all thought, this is it. This is where Leo finally gets busted down to private and spends the rest of his natural life peeling potatoes. Instead, the general's eyes lit up. He laughed, clapped Leo on the shoulder, and said, "Proactive problem solving in the face of adversity. That's the kind of out-of-the-box thinking we need in leadership, son." 2 weeks later, Leo made sergeant. I wish that was the end of it. It was not. A few months after that, Leo was put in charge of transporting supplies for a joint training exercise with another unit. Somewhere between the motor pool and the drop-off point, he took a shortcut that ended with a supply truck stuck axle-deep in a creek bed that was absolutely not on the map. 4 hours, a tow cable, 2 very unhappy specialists standing in mud up to their knees. When the captain finally showed up to survey the wreckage, Leo met him halfway down the bank, mud on his boots and not a shred of shame on his face. "Sir, I identified a critical gap in our off-road logistics capability and conducted an unscheduled field assessment." The captain stared at him for a long, long moment, long enough that some of us actually started praying. Then he just sighed, shook his head, and muttered something about creative problem solvers before walking off to deal with the tow truck situation himself. Leo didn't get in trouble. Leo got a commendation for demonstrating initiative under unconventional circumstances. I am not making that phrase up. It's in his file. You cannot make this up. While the rest of us were studying drill manuals, grinding through extra PT, and following every rule in the book, Leo was out there turning monumental screw-ups into glowing performance reviews. So the next time life feels unfair, just remember Leo, patron saint of failing upward, living proof that if you commit to the bit with total confidence, the whole system might just promote you for it.